First of all, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this video, to all of my many friends, also to my many enemies. Once again, this is another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. And on tonight, this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're seeing this, as of right this second, a whole lot of you are going to be watching this video on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, because it's early Wednesday morning here in Chicago. It's a little bit after 3 a.m. and I was about to go to bed, but I was watching the news tonight on, one of our local stations, Channel 5 here in Chicago, because I was taking care of some business or editing some photos, excuse me, a little bit earlier tonight, so I missed the news, so I DVR'd it. And I had was watching it on DVR, about to go upstairs and take my shower and come back down here so I can go to bed, because it's going to be in the 40s tomorrow, the upper 40s in Chicago, which by Chicago standards, if you can get a day in the 40s or the 50s in January, you're doing good. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, I was watching the news, and I came across a story on Channel 5 about a teacher who was arrested in Louisiana. I think it's Vermilion Parish or something like that, because there in Louisiana, certain places in the South, they have parishes, but up here we have counties. And the teacher's name was Deja Hargrove, and she was expressing her opinion because the superintendent of the schools was about to get a raise, and the teachers weren't about to get a raise at all. As a matter of fact, from what she said and from what some of my research came up with, because as soon as I found this out, I went on line and did my research on this story, because I wanted to bring you all my take on this particular story, because this whole incident, just because she decided to tell the superintendent like what she thought of him getting a raise, it led to an arrest, which I feel is inappropriate and shameful and unjust. As a past victim of police brutality and corruption myself, I thought that this was completely wrong. So I was doing some research into the story, and she was arrested just for speaking her mind, because these teachers had this idiot, Jerome, can't pronounce his last name, who's the superintendent of the school district, was about to get a raise. And they were even talking about some kind of a car or something for him or something like that, when the teachers have not been given a raise in over a decade. Okay? They have not been given a raise in over a decade, but yet this idiot, just because he's at the top, wants to give himself a raise and wants everybody to sign off on it. And it seems like, from what she even said, the school work, or the work for the teachers, has gone up 50%, and the classrooms are even getting more crowded. So I went online, did my research on this story, and I pulled for you all out a clip. Oh yeah. When a whole lot of you all try to say that this kind of stuff doesn't go on, and injustices and stuff that happens that should not happen take place in this world and even in this country, and some of you all try to say it don't happen, or it don't happen like certain people said it did, how come? Why? That's how come in the end God sent me along, to come and show you all and to set this evidence clear in your lap, that it clearly happens the way that it happened. And you're going to see how she voiced her opinion, but yet she was arrested and charged with resisting an officer only because she voiced her opinion in this meeting. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a long clip. The clip is like 5, 6, 7 minutes, so just bear with it. I'm going to cut to this clip and show you this clip, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Vehicle allowance.
Both. Because I've been on the board, both. Some superintendents, we provide a vehicle. Yes, Jimmy knows. paid reimbursement claims because some of them were absurd. People were charging us for a quarter of a mile and things like that. When that got changed, it rolled into the superintendent with Dan, if I remember correctly, that he got an allowance instead of a card. All right, anybody else in the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Daisha Hargrave. I teach in the parish. I have a serious issue with a superintendent or any person in a position of leadership getting any type of raise. I feel like it's a slap in the face to all the teachers, cafeteria workers, and any other support staff we have. We work very hard with very little to maintain the salaries that we have. And as I've been teaching the last few years, I'm seeing class sizes grow enormously. So I just wanna say, I don't care if the performance targets were met. You're making our job even more difficult, and we're jumping through hoops, and we're meeting those goals. We're meeting those goals. While someone in that position of leadership is getting a raise, it's a sad, sad day to be a teacher in Vermilion Parish. When we're supposed to be 4, 6, whatever number we are in the state, we're doing the work. The students are doing the work. At the top, that's not where kids learn. It's in the classrooms. And those teachers, like myself, are not getting a dime from that. And that is unspeakable. My second concern is that you're actually taking this vote with a man who just by chance knew so-and-so got elected, however that happened. The people didn't put him in. Now, if he wants to run and they want a people put him in, then you do your contract and your raises or whatever you deem necessary. This decision shouldn't even be made tonight. And I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of more than just myself, more than just Kaplan teachers. I'm speaking as a group. Many teachers are scared to speak out with Act 1 and all the power Mr. Pio now has. And it's, again, I'm gonna use the word absurd, that we're even considering giving someone a raise when these teachers are working this hard and not getting a dime.
All right, anyone else? One more.
One more.
Go ahead.
Okay, what was his last evaluation? I know somebody's been talking about the last time.
This is not a back and forth, Ms. Shaw, I'll say it again. If you have a comment, please make it. It's not question and answer. That's not what this process is.
It was not posted.
But he gave you permission.
It was not posted?
All right, we'll call vote on the substitute motion. Make it clear again, Kitty, correct me if I'm wrong. Your substitute motion is to approve a 2-year contract that was sent to all the board members at the current salary of the superintendent. And Laura hit the second, right, Laura? All right, let's go on the roll call.
Sorry,
No.
first go to Pro.
Yeah, you do get the shot.
Wait a minute. Just make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, that's,
You voted.
All right.
We've done so well.
You're voting to approve Kibby's contract. Okay, I just wanna make sure everybody understands. A no vote is to disapprove. A yes vote is to approve. Want to change your vote? All right, so I want you, okay.
No. Chris Abear,
no.
Stacy Lander,
No.
Laura LaBeouf,
Yes.
JV Marino,
No.
Kitty Pilad,
Yes.
Mr. Montana,
No.
Fails.
All right, now the original thing is to approve the contract. We have a motion and a second.
I have something on the original. Laura, you mentioned, the ACT, we didn't attach a number to the increase. What would you like to see?
Well, I need to see the data first before I would say what I would like to
So
see.
you don't have a number in mind, I think it'd be 19 or 18.5?
I thought 18 was the number.
No, we would increase it by whatever. It's to grow the number of students who achieve over 18. I don't know what our student-based number is to say what we would
Okay,
need
I
to
thought you
grow
had
by.
did the research and you knew. I was gonna maybe see if we could negotiate, a higher number there.
All right, roll call. Again, this is on the original contract as sent to each of you. A yes
No.
package, no? So it
Sarah
could be
Duplichat.
one no.
Chris Gotro.
Yes.
Chris Bear. Yes. Stacy Landry.
Yes.
Laura LaBeouf.
No.
JB Marino.
Before I answer, can I address the crowd? Is that possible, or should I?
Just need to vote.
Are we gonna comment on this one? Audience concerns? We never had audience concerns for the original vote.
We're in the middle of the vote.
Yes.
JB Pilat.
No.
Mr. Fontana.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So do y'all need anybody here?
So this is not a democratic government then?
And
No.
I did say we did not have comments on the original.
No comment unless you're recognized.
Whose fault is that?
All right, you got audience concerns for the superintendent? Yes, ma'am.
Superintendent, how are you going to take a raise when there's ELA, when I first started teaching ELA, there was like 21 kids in a class, and now there's 29 kids in a class that we are now having, and we have not gotten raises. How are you going to take that money? Because it's basically taking out of the
All right,
pockets of
stop,
teachers.
stop right now. That's not germane to what's on the agenda tonight.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
It's a raise.
Come on now.
How are you going to take?
What's on the agenda is the superintendent's contract.
With
So
a raise.
With
With
a
a
Raise.
Well, that's not talking about the raise, it's talking about
I
the
am.
teacher.
I'm saying, how are you taking the raise
That's almost
when
a
you're
shame.
basically taking from the teachers and employees under you? When we have class sizes that are that big? This directly speaks to what you have just voted on.
Ms. Hargrave, a year ago, I presented to this board. Okay.
I do not have to say.
Thank y'all very
Alright.
much. I appreciate it.
Anybody else?
Excuse me, officer. Can I not stand when I'm being spoken to?
Anybody?
Is there a
You're
rule?
gonna, you're gonna leave, or I'm gonna remove you.
Take your things and go.
Are you serious? I hope somebody has this on video.
I mean, really.
Excuse me.
All right, vote member
Is it
commentary.
against policy to
I would love
stand?
to say something.
Sir, do not.
Hold on.
This is the most disgraceful and distasteful thing
I
I've
want
ever
another
seen.
comment.
A comment.
She wasn't talking to you, she was talking to
It was
Mr.
it
Pio.
was
I don't want
comments for
another-
the superintendent.
I don't want the audience commenting without being recognized.
She was recognized.
He was recognized.
By you.
And
He was
and
speaking to me directly.
And you respond to her,
That's exactly
but
right.
you run everything.
All right, board
And the
member
superintendent can't even look at her when she's talking,
Okay,
Probably.
so.
It's pretty sad.
however you wanna do it.
This is pretty sad.
I
Our
have
children.
a comment. My name is Angel
Wait a
Campbell.
minute, wait a minute, I asked for it, we'll board member commentary, recognize Sarah.
Sir,
Just put her in
I
handcuffs.
apologize to the public.
he did not.
Oh, he's putting her in handcuffs right now.
Let's go see that. No.
Yeah, this on video.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you explain? Are you kidding me?
Stop resisting.
I am not.
Stop
You just
resisting.
pushed me to the floor. Sir, hold on. I am way smaller than you.
Really, that is sad.
Let's go see.
Yeah, you need to get this,
Yeah, let's go see.
You need to get this.
Yes.
Where's your phone?
Hang tight, Daisha.
What's her name?
Daisha Hargrave.
I know you're not gonna arrest her in this crowd. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's our children we're standing up for.
Oh my God! I do very much understand my rights.
You are being arrested for, I gave
For standing in a hallway,
I gave you many lawful orders to leave.
and that's exactly what I was doing.
You did not. You did not.
It's on the floor when I was
have
pushed
it.
down on the
No,
ground.
I picked it up when she was on the floor, I picked it up.
If you're gonna do it, do it. I was walking out of the hallway, asking you a question. You don't need backup. I'm 5 feet tall. Put me in the car if you're gonna put me in the car. I don't know. He won't answer a question. You can't ask questions.
So you taking it right here?
Somebody else about to get arrested.
For what?
Public intimidation. I don't work for Mike Rubion.
Oh, but you answer my question now, but you wouldn't answer my question when I was in the hall?
I
Do you feel
told
safer, officer, that I have handcuffs on? What did you think was gonna happen?
I gave you many directives to leave.
I was walking and asking you a question.
You need to calm down. You need to calm down.
Can you take me now? Because I can't.
Okay, thanks for sitting through that clip. And I think that falls under the category of fair use, by the way. Okay, so, let's go in. Now, I feel that as a teacher, because truly, the teachers in this school are truly the ones in the trenches. The teachers are they hold the line, you see? They hold the line in between, society and our children. Because they have more contact with our children in teaching our children than this school board president who isn't doing anything clearly. Because most people at the top of a certain board or a job or a corporation, they don't do anything, but they just make all of the money. And it's the teachers and the lower level workers, like she pointed out, like janitorial workers and lunchroom workers, who are clearly in the trenches doing the work. So they're down there, janitorial workers, teachers, and school, and what else did I say? Cafeteria workers, sorry about that, are fighting in the trenches while somebody like this idiot, Mr. Jerome, is watching safely from the hills. Doesn't something seem wrong with that to you? And just because she voiced her opinion in telling the truth, and just because she had other teachers stand up and speak up for what she was saying, because I'm pretty sure she's not the only one who felt it. Other teachers are feeling not getting a raise in over a decade too. So it's just truly not fair when people, just because they're at the head, at the top, can make all of this money, get cars and all of these other big kind of benefits and everything, but the people who work for them can't get anything. It kind of brings me to a conversation me and a good friend of mine were having at lunchtime today. And I was pretty much saying how I feel that CEOs of McDonald's, Burger King, and all of these, if you want to throw Target or Walmart in there, some of these CEOs, they make like millions a year. But what are they paying the workers? Just minimum wage, or sometimes lower than minimum wage, which you can't do anything with that. You can't even live off of that. But these people, some of these people make $5-10 million a year, living in big homes, driving big cars. The whole damn thing is a pyramid scheme. The ones at the bottom have to serve the ones at the top, which is not right. She gets arrested, all for voicing her opinion on the budget and how the teachers need a raise. Because it's the teachers who are working. It's the teachers who are educating our children, who are the future of this nation. The school board president, Mr. Jerome, is not doing anything. And then, just because she voiced her opinion, they're going to send this black nigga cop over to tell her to leave, and when she's leaving, you can clearly see the video, she's not doing anything, but clearly gets put in handcuffs. And then I didn't really see her resisting anything, and I watched the video over 2 or 3 times. I didn't see her resisting anything. Oh, stop resisting, stop resisting. You know, a whole lot of cops say that just so they can, you know, maybe have some kind of an evidence, or should I say false evidence, to prove or try to prove to a judge that possibly you were resisting. Came over and arrested her and took her to jail, charging her with resisting an officer. That's how come you all always hear me say on this YouTube program, sometimes I feel, excuse my language, but you see I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning just to go and do this video, because as soon as I saw this made me so upset I couldn't even sleep. But excuse me for saying so, I always say a black nigga cop ain't shit. Did you hear me? A black nigga cop ain't shit. Black people do not need to be in law enforcement, because he let this little bit of power get into his head, where he's up there just wrestling down this woman and all this other kind of stuff, and this woman is smaller than what he is. And I know a whole lot of you all out there are saying, Roosevelt, the woman got arrested, but the woman is white. I'm glad you said so. Just like police corruption, police brutality, things that happen that should not happen to blacks and Latinos in this country. This is proof positive right here. It happens to white people too. And whenever it happens to anybody, any kind of injustice is not justice at all. I don't care who it happens to. This superintendent does not need another raise. What they need to do is go and pay these teachers who work every single day, who take care of our children, who teach our children, to be proud of themselves, to teach them to grow up to be big and strong, who teach them reading, writing, and arithmetic. And this particular teacher who's arrested was an English teacher. They are the ones who need to be given more money so they could be able to live, and not some kind of fat cat superintendent who is just watching from the hills, high up on the hog now, while everybody else who is working and fighting every single day down in the trenches. It's just not fair. It's just not right. And I just wish that this society would be a little bit more equal and pay our workers much more money. And while I'm on that, even though this might not be completely related, before I finish up this video, let me go here for all of you sports fans. I don't agree really with sports. A whole lot of men who know me, they know I'm really not into sports, because ever since I was a little child, I always thought it was so stupid to pay a man millions of dollars in a contract a year just to toss a damn red ball through a hoop, and you're not willing to pay a teacher who's teaching children how to read a living wage. I can't get into that. And what am I going to get into something with these people or something making more money than I'll ever see? living in big homes and driving around big cars and all this other kind of stuff. People like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and you know, these are people back from the old days when I was a kid. I don't know hardly who's out there or whatever now, but it's just so stupid. The insane rates we pay CEOs, the insane rates we pay sports figures, the insane amount of money even that we pay rappers and actors and singers. Or let me go there. All because it's entertainment and they're keeping people entertained. Are entertainers the only ones who should only have a glimpse or a shot at the American dream? I say no, God forbid. Everybody, especially workers who work in the trenches every single day, need a shot at the American dream. And sometimes just paying minimum wage and not enough, it's just not right. It's just not fair because you just can't live off of that. So I think that, you know, school boards, companies, all of these other things need to reevaluate what they pay people and to pay their regular workers a living wage and not arrest somebody all because they have an opinion. So at this point, that's where I'm going to leave it. If anybody wants to comment, be sure to comment below and be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell icon. That way you'll be notified anytime I upload any new content. So right now, that's where I'm going to leave it. This is Roosevelt Sounds Off. I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace and blessings to all.